In Episode 4, Adamo and Rasheed talk about the rise of the machines and how advances in technology have changed and impacted the world that we live in today. Enjoy.
Good morning, Rasheed, and welcome. Well, welcome to Episode 4.
Oh, thanks, Adam. Thanks for having me. Long time no see, mate. I haven't talked in ages.
Oh, mate, when you hang out with someone so much, you get to know them a little bit
That's
more.
a fucking lie. He rings me every fucking 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes, fucking Adamo. Bloody hell.
We're brothers now. I've learned a lot about you. You're not bad. So, thank you for the support, guys. Guys, we need you to hit the subscribe button at the bottom of the screen, like us, and follow us. Because once we get to we're trying to head for 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're trying to send our message out there. The response has been great. The message is back. We just can't thank you enough. Which brings us to our topic, which is the rise of the machines. The
rise of the machines.
The rise of technology. Now, Hollywood was always ahead of its time. You know that movie Terminator? Who would have thought that a movie in the 80s and the 90s, Terminator 1, 2, 3, and 4, who would have thought simulated machine that simulates a human person will take over the world? And that's what's happening.
That's right. Now, Terminator was my favorite movie.
I'll be back.
And if you think that you cannot be replaced, then my friend, you're mistaken. Because you can be replaced. Adam, I've got a question for you. Now tell me about AI. Apparently, they're saying that this thing is self-taught.
So, Rasheed, AI is like artificial intelligence. It's collected data over the years, and with that data, it's simulated and emulated the human mind. So, it's in phones, it's in technology, it's in software, it recognizes faces and answers questions. So, this AI is here to stay.
But I've been told AI, these apps, are they apps? Well, let's say that you call them apps, softwares, yeah? They talk to each other. They teach each other how to become like they're self-improving.
All the time.
How crazy is that? One day they might develop consciousness.
No,
but
it'll emulate
you might say
it.
that, but you never know. Now the technology that we have today is alien technology.
Well, it's funny you said that, because this information and all this data and all these apps and all this software, the question is, was this information, was it around years ago and it's just getting let out now? This AI, this information.
You can speculate on it, but imagine, you know how UFOs, the idea of UFOs now, they call it different names, but the idea of UFOs, they're basically, they are drone-like flying saucers,
Yes.
How I think that this could be just, can you tell the difference between a drone in the sky?
It could be a drone, it could be a UFO, or it could have been photoshopped, because now with AI and technology and these programs online, you can make things look like things that they're not.
But this is what I don't understand. Why does a UFO land somewhere in the outback? They can just come and land in the middle of the city and say that, hey, we're aliens. We're here to take over.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of stories, I think, in the 50s and 60s, Roswell, that there's a big cover-up. But there was a big inquiry. It's online. It's on YouTube. There's this massive inquiry. I think it's came out 6-8 months ago, where some lieutenants and colonels that were in the Army and the Navy are coming clean on things that they saw. So
Man, people speculate, people talk, but why only a bunch of people have seen it? How come
a lot of people have seen it.
It doesn't land right in the middle of the city, so I can see it, so everyone can see it.
Well,
I mean, what are they scared of? If they're like 1,000 years ahead of us, obviously we can't do shit to them.
Look, they might be watching us. Mate, look, they might be in our society. They might be walking around. We could be aliens.
Who knows, mate? In a simulated world, huh?
Simulated. Look, it's this world we live in. It's affected by all this technology. Now, this technology in the last 25 years has probably seen the biggest growth since the start of the 21st century.
Yeah.
Now, from phones to online learning to industry to like the way we interact, that it's just affect. Like you don't have to be like an expert to know or be influenced by the way we live today in this world.
Let me ask you. Yeah.
My first question. Now, this question to you is about from when you grew up to now.
Yeah.
How do you think the technology has influenced the world and its learnings and techniques? Like, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. Listen, good old days. You know what I did? I used to ride my camel to school. We had a camel hanger, like a barn.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I would just tie the camel to a pole and go to my class. I had a baby camel, or a calf, whatever you call it. Now, you actually believe that, yeah?
Yeah.
That's fucking racist.
Is it true?
It's not.
It's not true. Are you joking?
Just because I'm Melissan, I must have had a camel.
You're testing me now, Rasheed.
Relying on technology, you know what happens to us?
We're becoming stupid.
We're becoming stupid.
We're becoming dumb.
Now, relying on technology is distancing us from the natural world.
It is.
We can't stay connected with our environment. When my son comes home from school, he's on his iPad. I'm like, son, come ride your bike.
Yeah, how was your day?
Yeah. You know what my son says? I'm riding my bike in Roblox.
So Roblox, the online gaming platform. Gaming is another thing I'll talk about in a second.
He's riding his bike in Roblox.
Wow.
Is that what you call it, Roblox?
Roblox, yeah.
Man, so it has actually disconnected us from the natural world.
Have you actually sat next to your son and watched a little bit of that Roblox stuff?
Oh, I have. It's quite interesting. That's
if you're
why
a
they're
kid,
hooked.
Well, we'll talk about that. In a second.
That's why it diminishes the basically non-verbal cues. Yeah. Now, if you're connected, always glued to your iPad, your social interaction skills they'll diminish. Don't you feel you've got two kids? I mean, like.
Yeah, I think.
Do you think that they're?
It's hard work. It really is hard work. The distractions. So, like, when we were growing up, our parents used to say, "Go out and play. I don't want to see you till dinner time." So now, when the kids come home, it's like, like as parents, we really have to make an effort to tell them, "Hey, get off, do this, go outside." So it's a lot harder. That's what I'm finding.
Imagine nowadays. Like I said, I mentioned it to you the other day that even kids, they don't have that confidence to come up to you and say hello.
Yeah.
Imagine that. It's just because it's lack of social skills, lack of communication. Mm-hmm. They might be smart in their minds, but they certainly appear very dumb.
So I think, like for example, the skills in learning, their motor neuron skills. I think that a 12, 13-year-old kid is smarter intellectually and knows more in this life because of the online tools that you can get access to information very quick. See, back in our day, like if we didn't know something, we had to ask someone or read a book. Yeah.
Yeah.
So these days, like a kid, if he wants to find something out, he looks online and he learns. Yeah. So I think they're getting smarter that way. If they want information, bang, they get it now. So where they lack is when you go out and, like we say to my kids, or I see the kids out and they're 12, 13 and they're in a room with other kids and it's like, fuck, I just wish my kids would see other kids would show some more expression, some feelings, or like just shake someone's hand when they walk in the room.
Yeah.
Like and like we have to say, shake his hand, say goodbye, kiss him, like cause
you have to actually tell them what to do.
Yeah,
in a social
they're not bad kids. They're lovely kids. Like it's just the
I'm not saying
it's just the generation and the impact of the technology that's at our disposal.
Yeah.
And like you spend one day online, you spend one day on the computer, one day on your phone. By then it's Thursday, and then it's like it's hard because they've gone into a routine. You do that for 1 year. You do that for 2 years.
People ask me that, what did you play when you were a kid? You know what I say?
What?
I played outside. That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
I've played outside. I mean, like, look at these kids. I don't know whether they're privileged or I don't know whether it's a curse or it's a blessing.
Yeah, but the parents don't want the kids to go play outside because
Now-
there's so much shit on TV that
Yeah.
if you go play outside, the parents think that the kids are going to be abducted and everyone's a
Mate,
pedophile.
when I was 12 years old in Afghanistan,
Hmm.
I was walking around with a shotgun.
Serious?
I used to hunt birds
I used to
with a
hunt birds.
shotgun.
Wow.
I was 12 years old. I couldn't even hold the bloody shotgun.
Wow.
And I was just shooting birds with it. Can you imagine? Can you trust your son with a shotgun now?
I thought there was something wrong with this guy.
I don't know. All right. You know how your kids are into gaming,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Do you think that the technology has changed the entire gaming industry?
Well, when we grew up, we had this like Atari box, yeah, and it was like this little box like this, and it had a little dial on it, and
Yeah.
the game was called tennis. So there were two lines on a screen. You used to go beep, and the ball would go across the screen, right?
Yeah.
And used to go back and forth. That was how we started in kind of the mid 80s, late 90s. Now, I actually sat with my kids for a while because they wanted to, start on these games like Fortnite and stuff like that. And I think, oh my God, geez, if we had these games when we were a kid, first of all, the graphics. Oh my God. Like you feel like you're a part of the game. The options you get within the game.
Yeah,
The
it's
mo-
like
Yeah?
it's like a real life scenario, isn't it?
You
Like
f-
it shows basically.
It just makes you feel like you're a part of the game. You got multiplayer experiences, so you can play with all your mates.
Yeah.
You can have a Discord on another screen so you can chat. You can play, chat, and then you're playing with someone in China,
Yeah.
someone in America, and then someone in Brazil.
I used to work with this guy. Let me stop.
Yeah, that's all right.
I used to work with this guy. He was a big gamer.
Gamer,
He
oh,
would play video games all night long, and show up to work the next day
Fried.
half asleep.
Fried.
Listen, and he was saying he was in love with a girl in the game.
Oh, wow.
That is pretty
That's
fucked
pretty...
up.
Going on that.
He was in love with a girl in the game, and he wanted to take her out on a date. You know what I mean? I don't know how. Maybe in a digital world, but because maybe she was or she wasn't real.
Well, there's
Who
a lot of
knows?
people, especially I know in Japan and China, they have like these avatar friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people make up these avatars. They give them characters, names, and they got Facebook page, Instagram pages. Yeah, it's a big... And so sometimes you talk to these people and their partners,
They're avatars.
they're avatars, and they won't cheat on them. Like they treat them like a real person.
What's the world coming to, man?
Like this technology in AI, like we're scraping the surface. I know
Yeah.
quite a bit about it, but it's really scary. And if you want to watch a mini series on TV, which is ahead of its time, just like the Terminator, there's a series on Netflix. It's about 3 years old, and it's called Black Mirror.
Black Mirror.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Black Mirror. Yeah,
So
I've seen,
Black
I've seen
Mirror
it.
is ahead of its time. In the next 5-10 years, they're like mini stories and they're episodes. Yeah. The first story, to cut a long story short, is about two guys, and they put these machines on their head, and it's an avatar, and they're playing in a game. It's a fighting game. It's like Tekken, right?
Yes.
And what happens is these two guys, every night they get home from work, middle-aged men like us, and they put these
I'm not middle-aged,
they
man.
put these machines on their head, and then they play the game. And the funny thing, the big twist about this, they play the game, they fight, it goes on. And then what happens in one game is they actually don't want to fight. So they go into this machine, they don't want to fight. One is a male avatar,
Yeah.
one is a female.
Okay.
So what ends up happening, to cut a long story short, is they kiss in the avatar. So
But-
in the real life, they take these machines
my-
off their
yeah.
head.
Yeah.
So this is all about the future, as you said about
So,
AI.
two
So they
men,
start,
yeah,
two men start kissing, and these two men,
Oh, they can nowadays.
which is fine. But these two men who are just like heterosexual people,
Yeah.
they actually are mates in the real world. So what happens is when they see each other at the party the next time, because at the start, what they were doing, they were just fighting.
Man,
yeah?
I'm telling you,
Then they
Adam,
kiss.
I'm a straight man. Okay,
So-
don't you ever think?
So I'll leave it at that. So to tie it back in with technology and how things are changing. This is the question that you asked about the future.
Yeah, the future. I think, you know, what they used to show back in the 80s, nowadays we see that technology. Did they have that technology back then?
Back to the future.
Maybe the concept was there.
Except the flying machine.
The concept was there, you know, but in theory, you can actually back to the future. You can travel into the future and to the past. You know, we'll talk about this. You know, it's that's based on the theory of relativity. You know,
Yes,
it's Einstein's theory of relativity.
Yep.
You can pierce the space and walk
Slow time
into from one end and walk out of the other end. You know, basically
down.
you know, it's just
Dimensions. Oh, this is going
walk
deep.
through a different dimension.
So my question is to
Yeah.
you, what tools can we give maybe the kids to kind of not be a little bit more like us? This is the question without notice, sorry.
Yeah.
But what do you think the tools that we can give people, especially our kids, to become better humans? What do you think? Like maybe
What- in
sports?
terms of what?
Yeah, like sports or getting them out?
Basically,
groups, what do you think?
You have to find a balance between technology and the real
Socialising.
world. The real world. You know, they have to go out and play with their mates, and they should be involved in sports.
Yeah, sports is good for the
You know,
social.
social interaction. You know, they have to interact with other kids. Otherwise, imagine that if they're glued to their screen, what's going to happen to them? You know, they might become smart. They might be smart in their minds, but you know, like the social we are social beings, right?
Yeah.
Humans are social beings. In order for us to exist in the world, we have to be in a community. Okay, so in order for you to be in the community, you need to be able
Have an
to
opinion, talk.
have an opinion. You have to communicate with people. So these are the things that we should be teaching our kids.
Like to have a response, to have an opinion, ask them what they think. And you're only going to get that in a setting where maybe send your kid to a church group or, you know, I've got 2 kids who play sports, and when they get there, it's amazing. A lot of the kids don't actually wear their sporting colours. They actually go and play their sport because they're with their mates. Now, I probably respect that and appreciate that a little bit more than the fact that they wear their colours. You take your kids to sporting events, they wear their colours because they've got their team, they've got their players. But because the world's, you know, moving quickly, sometimes you can't get to those games. So they don't see the players, they don't have that interaction with the players. But like I speak to my kids and they love going to their teams to talk to the other kids. Now, all those kids in that team, they all go to different schools.
That's
There's a couple that there's probably 7 or 8 schools, but then when they come together, I watch them. I'm like, man, that's gold. So like, if they didn't have that interaction, like the first thing I ever told my kids or taught my kids when they started playing gaming and got, you know, the distraction and the phones and this and that.
Yeah.
The first thing I said to them, kids, too much technology is going to fry your brain. They go, what do you mean, Dad? I said, well, go in the fridge, get an egg.
Get an egg.
Yeah, get an egg, turn the fry pan on, crack the egg and put it in the fry pan. You see how it's frying?
Yeah,
That's what happens to your brain when you. So what I say is, you know, I don't mind the kids like playing for 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
But then get off, have some lunch, go play some ball, go for a walk, get back on at 4 or 5.
But
I don't mind that.
You know, we're beating this new technology, but there's no doubt that technology has its advantages, right?
Oh,
Benefits.
Yes, for the benefits.
Look, back, you know, in the 1800s, you know what life expectancy was?
You know, like 40, 35.
50, 48 to 50
Close.
in the 1800s. Now, you died of what? Heart conditions, diabetes, cholesterol, basically everything killed you. So basically, once you got to 40, basically, which we are, right? That was 90% of your life expectancy. But now there's a tablet for everything.
Yeah, so there's been...
Your cholesterol is high, you take a tablet. Your diabetes, your sugar is high, you take a tablet.
So we can't dispute the fact that, just to follow up on what Rasheed is saying there, is that there's been lots of technological advances in
medical field.
in medical field, in
In communication.
communication, in tablets, in evasive procedures too. Like you can go in for day procedures, the stuff that you couldn't get in the 1800s.
Right.
You go in for a day, you get knee this, you get so. You've got machines.
yeah.
Machines have been improved.
Yeah. Nowadays, there's an app for everything. There's
Oh,
an app.
yeah.
There's probably an app that can wipe your ass.
Yeah, because like, look, if it wasn't for technology, we
Yep.
probably wouldn't be sitting here recording a podcast.
That's right.
With a couple of webcams and a couple of $30 microphones.
Yeah, no, they're
So
not cheap, are they?
so the bonus there is it gives us the ability,
The communication. That's
communication to talk and
Now-
put it together.
We can talk to millions of people through these devices.
And we don't necessarily need someone to promote us because we have we have the tools, Facebook, Instagram, and we have ways of putting our information out there for people to see. Now, back in the 80s and 90s, especially in like music recording,
Yeah.
look at the technological advances in music recording with online. So back in the 80s and 90s, you had Mushroom Records, you had all these record companies, and someone had to put you on the stage for you to get noticed.
Yeah.
So now there's been a lot of, in the last 5-10 years with YouTube,
Yeah.
there's a lot of these stars like, Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber. A lot of these guys started on YouTube
On YouTube.
and they got thousands of views.
Man.
Then
Yeah.
and they created their own, like Taylor Swift. She's a smart cookie. Well, I know. Having said that, I know people that have marketing degrees that did have time off work for kids or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when they went back to work, and they had to, they were in front of people, and they were asking, what qualifications do you have? And their first question was in the marketing field was, what's your knowledge on social media?
On social media.
They didn't ask. They didn't look at, what you've actually done in your uni degree, because the reason why this is very important is because online is what's getting people's attention. If everyone's looking in one direction,
Yeah.
you want to be in that direction. If no
That's
one's
right.
looking at you, you're wasting your money. So
You're
this
following the herd. But the
Yes.
thing is, that's where the world is headed. Everyone's headed. But basically, while social media and media have their benefits, but however, listen to this. There's a lot of misinformation too. With media,
news.
they
Yeah,
can
fake
they
news.
can listen.
Yeah.
They can brainwash you. Remember,
they
they can brainwash. Remember when Putin started the war in Ukraine? They
They've
were
been-
saying Putin was gonna die in 2 months. He's got cancer. 3 years later, he's got half of fucking Ukraine.
yeah. So
What happened?
I would support that theory and say that
Putin was dying.
the misinformation
Misinformation.
could be just the stuff you watch on free to wear TV. Channel. When we were growing up, we had 8 channels. Oh, sorry, 4 channels.
Yeah.
7, 9, 10, SBS. Now we got fucking 300 channels. There's nothing to watch. Sorry.
You can't find anything. But listen to this. However, privacy. How about privacy? My sister gets a call on the phone.
The banks.
Yeah, they go, we're from ANZ Bank or whatever bank it was. 5 minutes later,
They've taken all their money.
$10,000.
Gone.
She lost $10,000. Bang. Technology. You know what? They got into her account. Bang.
Yeah. But look, there is still a problem with breaking and entering in homes locally for, that's another story. But yeah, online scamming and privacy, that begs the question, have the banks improved their cybersecurity? Now, if you want a job, ladies and gentlemen, kids, people watching, if you want a job, a guaranteed job for the next at least 100 years, then look into cybersecurity. Like when we were growing up, there were 5 jobs, yeah? You could be a sparky, you could be a fireman, you could be a builder, you could be a doctor, you could be a dentist. Now the kids, this is the thing, because of the way technology, getting back to technology, is the 5, if you ask your son or your daughter what they want to be, these are the top 5. YouTuber,
Yeah.
sportsman,
Yes.
a singer, right? Because of all these shows on TV, a scam artist, All right. Or a crypto god. So all these things, it's changing the way people think. If I said to my son the other day, I said, you know, what do you want to be when you're old? Because he thinks, you know,
My son wants to be a YouTuber. You know what he says? I want to be a YouTuber like Daddy. You know,
oh, now that you're a star.
Dollars. Listen to this. I want to make millions of dollars, and I'm gonna buy toys with it. Oh. You know, like, but he wants to be a YouTuber. I'm like, I mean, it's good to be a YouTuber. You know, I suppose we are YouTubers now.
Wow.
But
100 followers.
You have to be a bit more ambitious.
Well, I said to my son, just finishing up, I said to my son, why don't you be a Sparky?
Yeah.
He goes, what's a Sparky? I go, an electrician. He goes, what's an electrician?
You don't know.
Yeah, you know the lights, yeah? When you turn the lights on,
yeah.
They're the ones that go and put all the lights in the house.
Yeah.
So like, they're not bad kids. You know, I'm not just talking about my kids or Rasheed kids. It's just the way that the kids are growing up in this environment. Now, if you want a different environment, sell your house and go and live in the country. Grow your own food and don't have any internet.
Just live off the land, mate.
Live off the land. Live like a peasant.
Yeah.
And you'll probably have a clear mind.
Yeah, like in
a sense.
Yeah, back in the, you know, I swear to God, I miss those days that, you know, we didn't have any technology, nothing. You know what we did? I lived back in overseas. I'm talking about, I don't know, 20, 25 years ago. Basically, we knew all our neighbors.
Yeah.
You know, we just would, in the afternoon,
we
would just go out and mix with, you know, like talk to our neighbors. You know, we would get together and talk, and the social life was so perfect. I don't know, like, I don't have a word to actually explain it. It was so good. I mean, I had a good childhood until everything went to shit. But for the first time when I came across like proper advanced technology was when I first got my entire family, we had one mobile phone. This was in Pakistan. Fuck, I've lived in some fucked up countries too, huh?
And this phone, you probably, when you got the phone, like, because it was so new technology, it looked like a brick. And then when you put it to your ear, you used to scream in it because you think they didn't hear you. Hey, I'm here. Yeah. Yeah. Bring the cow, bring the milk.
You can.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm telling you, like, the first time I got this mobile phone, I'll take it to I used to do some, I don't know, I used to go to this language school, whatever. And the things that you can do with your mobile phone, it's terrifying.
But that's the way the kids are thinking because of the technology. So like kids, you know, 12 and 13, do you know about Snapchat?
Yeah, a little bit.
So
yeah.
it's an app, right? So like, you know, you'd be sitting there having your dinner and then your son's phone, and you're wondering, you know, because it's a picture that comes on, and I think it dissolves after like 5 seconds. So it's gone. It disappears. Yeah. So you don't know, like, because I'm like, what have you got there?
Is there privacy? Yeah. They don't want you to see it.
But they get that information very, very quick. So back in the day, you know, we had to talk. We had to work things out. We had to read books. We had to meet people on the corner. We couldn't get that access to information.
How did we end up here?
I'll tell you what, we used to...
How the fuck did we end up here?
Yeah, but they were the days
we had a good childhood.
Well, when you were, I don't know, when you were 17 or 18, when you started like meeting girls, right?
Yeah.
Like now you can talk to those girls like every second. It's easy access. Back then, right? It was like, you know, if I met a girl and I thought, geez, I didn't have a phone because phones didn't really come out until 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Like I used to say to a girl, all right, ring me this time. And then she would ring. And then I'd have to sit by the phone in my mum and dad's room, right? and then I'd have to wait for the phone to ring, then grab it.
Grab the phone.
So they didn't hear anything.
Oh,
then
okay.
I'd have to sit under the side of the bed for about 5 or 6 hours talking. And then like mum would walk in and then like just scream at us because no one was good enough for her boys. Sorry. So like that's all we had to, that's the way.
How things work.
How it worked, you know. So like now, like you know, if you're 16, 17 and you've got a partner and like you've got a phone and someone asks you a question, if you don't answer that question, mate, she's going to leave you. You didn't answer me. I asked you.
Yes.
I asked you a question, you know, like, what are we doing on the weekend? And you didn't answer me to an hour later. You don't love me anymore?
Yeah. But nowadays, imagine,
Yeah.
that's another topic. But nowadays, dating apps. You get on Tinder, you meet so many girls. Like everyone becomes an option, because
Yeah.
you've got 10 girls lined up.
Redhead, too fat.
Yeah.
No. That's why you're on the...
Yeah, you can meet up with them. And how do you expect to have a proper relationship, a meaningful relationship with a girl, with a female? Because if...
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, hang on, left. His left is good and
I've never
right.
used it, honestly.
Red hair. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I've got a secret
Rasheed,
account, but...
this one here, he likes to sleep in on a Sunday.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, shit. No. Oh, look at her. She's hot. Oh, wow. Oh, hang on. AI girl. Oh, yep.
Yeah, that's right. But this is what the world has come to,
Yeah.
Now, everyone is an option. Now, why would you want to have a relationship with one person when you can have 10?
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Mate, it's scary. There's
Yeah,
things.
this-
Well, we're middle-aged men. We're married, so we've
Man, I'm
tinkered
lucky
on
that
a-
I don't live in this day and age. I mean, like, I still live, but I'm not a teenager, or I'm not, lucky I'm married.
Yeah,
It's fucking
well-
hard to find a wife nowadays. Well, you're going to pick up a wife from these apps.
Well, if you actually look at the last 10 years, especially wedding speeches and, females and males, yeah, we met on an app, yeah, we met on Tinder, we met here, we met there, but, look, married at first sight. I mean, it's a show on TV. There's probably been one true wedding that survived every year. The rest is just a crock of shit.
If you break up, let's say nowadays, if you break up with your girlfriend or with your wife, she gets on an app. She can find fucking
Yeah.
10 other
And
men like you.
Yeah, and then she puts photos from like 25 years ago.
Yes.
She doesn't put the current photos.
Yeah.
She photoshops them.
Nah, man.
Oh my God, Photoshop. Oh my God. I ran into someone the other day
Yeah.
because I see them online and I saw their face. Like, I don't want to, sorry, I don't know how this is going to come across, but I saw their face and I'm like, I'm thinking, I don't say it to her because I've got too much respect. I'm thinking, you don't look like that. Do you look like that in real life? Oh my
I
God.
saw this person in
Oh
real
my
life,
God.
but he had seen her photos online. Or,
Yeah, because they Photoshop them. Like,
Yeah.
and you can filter them like 100%,
Yeah.
50%.
Right.
You can take out the lines. You can put a hairpiece.
Have you
Do you
seen
know this?
Courtney Kardashian and these?
Yeah.
In real life, they don't look like that.
They
mate.
wouldn't look
I'm
like that in
telling
the
you,
morning. Is that what you'd say?
This is no, they don't look like that.
When they roll
And-
over in the...
I don't think they look like that in real life, no matter whether it's morning, evening, or afternoon. But
This is
the-
what we look
the
like,
thing
man. I'm
is that,
45.
this
Look at
is-
me.
yeah,
Mate.
that's it. We're good.
Look
I
at that.
train. Look at me.
at
We've
that.
got tattoos. And,
Mate, we're full of
that's it.
beans. This
But-
is as good as it gets. My missus knows
we're
what
all
she's...
natural. We're all natural. That's good. But this is people like Kardashians. They're poisoning our
Our brains.
not our at least they're probably poisoning our brains too, our teenagers. Like our,
She's the number
our
one
youth.
Googled person in the world. I think Taylor Swift, I think Kardashian and Joe Rogan, they have
Yeah,
the biggest
they should be-
influence
they
on our
should be-
society.
There should be better role models, honestly. But
At least people...
what do you see? Kim Kardashian's ass every day on
At least we're a generation that we grew up with some good things happening, some good tools, that we had some good, a different upbringing.
yeah.
Now, since the technology has like influenced us probably the last 15 years, but we can still get back to, and we've got a good foundation. So we're we'll be saved. We'll be okay. The new generation,
They're fucked.
yeah. Now,
Basically.
what about the generation? What about the generation that's going to be born now?
Yeah,
in
the
15 years'
generation
time?
after that. I don't know what's going to happen.
my-
But the thing is that I want to live. That's why I like technology, because it can prolong human life. I want to live for the next 150 years, 200 years, or 1,000 years, just to see where the world is headed. I want to see all these changes.
I can tell you what's going to happen.
What the world will look like in 100 years' time.
Let me look
150
into my
years' time.
crystal ball. Hang on. My crystal ball says plague, disease,
Lockdown, disease, end of
end of
Hey,
times.
end of times.
Well, look, if
Bloody hell.
COVID does
I
hit
think
again, at
Jesus,
least we've
Jesus has got to come back soon, mate.
If
It's the
COVID
return of Jesus.
if COVID does hit again, at least we've got a forum now that we can just stay in here and generate some content.
That's right.
Because I think we might even go off. You know, we might do all right with this.
Go off like how?
Like
Off the
in
grid?
terms of getting people watching us, because everyone's going to be home online.
Go off.
Yeah, yeah.
Explode, mate.
We're going to explode.
Yeah. I thought you were saying
No.
you're going off the grid. Anyways, let's wrap up, man. We've been talking about for what 45
minutes talking
Mate,
shit.
Talking shit. How much shit can we talk? We've been talking shit.
Look, at the end of the day, technology has played a big role in the last 20 to 25 years.
It's still playing a big role.
Probably more with actually technology and online since the internet. You know, TV from the 50s and 60s, black and white into color TV, yeah, but internet has actually given us a chance to connect globally. Now, the next 25 years, mate, I don't want to begin to imagine.
In the next 20. Oh, yeah.
Just close your eyes and just think about all that fourth dimensional stuff.
Yeah, I know, man. Imagine if they're able to open that portal. Fucking hell, mate.
Mate, they should just turn the internet off.
I just want to know what's behind. You know how we live in 3-dimensional world. What if they open the 4th dimension? In
How much
Muslim,
would a ticket cost?
in Islamic belief, we believe that there are other beings on the other side. They're probably in the fucking 4th dimension.
Could be sitting next to you.
We call them jinns.
They could be sitting next. There could be 6 in this room. Energy.
Yeah, they're made from smokeless fire. That's what it says in the thing. So listen, in the future, God knows,
What's going to happen?
yeah, what's going to
The
happen.
writing's on the wall.
The writing is on the wall. Are we waiting for that 4th dimension to open? All right, my man. Let's wrap this up.
Anyway, thanks, guys. Don't forget, smash the likes, hit the subscribe button, and thanks for joining us. And we'll see you in our next episode. Khod Office.
Khudafis. Ciao. See you later.